Let's go. And then let's go here. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our show. Today, thank you for joining us. We're live today on the show. This is the Lottery Fortuner. It's an interesting program, software-based business licenses that are available. Software that I put together, part of my gaming development, and it's now become a full-fledged business, including casino ships. So it's really getting exciting over here on our end. But this is a way for everyone to participate with what we're doing. So I encourage you guys to subscribe and follow us, and particularly to engage the program. So we're going to have a live presentation today. We're going to talk. We're not too set up with chats yet. It's all Chinese to me here at this point. I've never used OBS with the vertical plugin, which I just installed it about a week or so ago. And we're also, for the first time, able to connect live to the world. Because, 3 years ago, you don't know, but 3 years ago I moved. I purchased a farm out in the country. We're here in Florida, but we're deep in. And we got a few acres here. I'm not saying that to be boastful or anything, but it's to let you understand what the problem is. There's a problem with all of this success and and expanding and exploring my ideas. And the problem is that I have gone into a isolated area in terms of high-speed internet. So it's been 3 years. I've been in hiatus for 3 years, developing and whatnot. It doesn't stop my brain. It didn't stop the computer from working. But we haven't been able to do any live streaming or anything like that. Basically, as many of you may know me from before, I'm a minister. So the teachings I've always maintained uploading through McDonald's, and some I go into the city and I'll park in front of the McDonald's and I would upload there. And of late we've had difficulty with that, so I moved to a library, and that still gave me hassles, but also my USB was faulty. It gave me a lot of headaches. In any case, somebody had a brilliant idea. We had other options that were experimental, really. We're not sure if we can get online with those options. Either way would be expenditure of money and not really knowing for sure that we would be able to live stream. A friend suggested a Verizon, not putting in a plug, but just so happened that, and I had already found out that Verizon did have a strong presence or signal in this area through a phone app that searches out towers and tells you what the signal strength is. So I did discover beforehand, just a little before, a month or so before this person showed up, and that Verizon was the best option in this area. Again, I didn't know if their 5G live stream, ability was up to par. I had no doubt that downstreaming wouldn't be an issue, but upstreaming, that could be an issue there. I see that I'm not having a lottery fortuner in YouTube may not be showing up, but I'm not going to delay any more time with that. They'll get the video, I guess, later on. So the person, eventually we got together, and the person did suggest, he found out on my issues, and he said, 5G, the Verizon works well at my house. I think that's something that you got to try. So we did. He put things together for me here, and here I am. There's still little technical issues here and there. It has nothing to do with my upstream. It's just the fact that now I have OBS with all these little plugins that supposedly make life better, but at this point, getting it started is a hassle. But again, that's the way life goes. Okay, what these old fogies here trying to do a young man's job. Okay, anyway. All right, guys, so I can't see your chats. I can't, so that saves me from your cuss words and your gestures for sexual engagement of one sort or another or whatever. I remember. Listen, it doesn't faze me, doesn't bother me. I'm also going to, I have a comedy show available, by the way. It centers on curse words. So, curse words, they don't mean it like they do to other people. So it's just a waste of your time to even, try to, say something, because it's just, I laugh at you. It's totally, you should see my comedy show, how you guys are just laughable. So, you don't waste your time. Do something with your life. I'm doing something with mine. Do something with yours. Okay, anyway. With this channel, you'll learn things, by the way. So if you don't have anything else to do with your life, stay here and learn something. There's something you'll learn before I croak and pass away. Something you'll learn. And maybe you'll become a millionaire one day if you have that wherewithal. Okay, so what's the lottery fortune? Now let's get into this. This is supposed to be a virtual event. What does that mean? The Lottery Fortuner is a suite, which means it's a few programs, software programs that I've put together in this niche. What is the niche? Some people will call it gambling. For me, I'm not a gambler, so that's right off the bat. I am not a gambler. Some people say, yes, you are. And some people say, well, you're promoting gambling. You can say that, but listen, I've always said this about many things. There are many little saucy, spicy niches in the world. And the people, they condemn each thing. But you know what? You're not doing anything to help people that are in these niches. I have a different perspective on it. I'm a psychotherapist authorized in New York State, right? And I have always taken a different stance on what my role should be in relation to these sinful activities and whatnot. And that is, I can't help people just by condemning the activity. There's people who have a need, especially like in the gambling niche. There's people who have problems. They're addicted. So I look at things as a challenge. You start setting things up as, oh, that's not possible. This is like this or that. And I look at it as a challenge. I'm going to tackle this, and I did. And so, again, my general view for those who want to know, well, what's your view on gambling? I said, it's the same thing as hunting and fishing. I said, no, but you're gambling money. And, well, you do the same thing if you're going for... Right now, if I was going to go fishing, I haven't been fishing in quite a number of years now. So I've been busy behind the computers and all that. And I had some few folks urging me to go fishing with them. So, yeah, I will do that. Even the kids here that I take care of, they told me, for your birthday, you want us to take you fishing. Let's go fishing. And I said, you know, that I would like to do that very much. But for me to go fishing now, I would have to make an investment of money to be equipped to go fishing. I would have to spend US dollars to get my fishing gear together. I don't even know where my fishing poles are, and even if they're even any good anymore. So, and basically I wouldn't want to go fishing with old stuff anyhow. So I want to get new stuff. I want to get new poles, new line, hook, lines, and sinkers, new reels. I need to get equipped. I want to get the vest so I can have things in the toolbox and have that what they call that drag behind cart for all the stuff and the cooler. Yeah, I want to go set up. I want to go nice. I want to get the hat, nice fisherman hat, and just do the whole 9 yards. So, you know, I'm going to have to spend pretty much about the same amount that most people who are maybe getting into gambling would take with them to a casino. I had been at the Victory Cruise here in Florida. We have a floating casino, goes out to international waters. And I went there, and someone left their ticket, not their gambling ticket, their ATM ticket receipt, and they left it on the machine, you know, right there at the printer where it prints out. And I took it out, but, you know, I said, let me fold it, put it away, just to see an example of someone else who came onto this casino ship. How much money did they take out to gamble with? And sure enough, that person took out, I think it was like $300, less than what I had. But, you know, $300 is basically, you know, a little good fisherman setup. And now if you were going hunting, that's even more, because guns cost money. To have a rifle and hunting equipment, that's even more money. And depending on what type, as always, even the fishing, depends on what type of fishing and what type of hunting you're going to be doing, what's the prey that you're after. So very easily, we're talking about 300, we'll use the receipt, the real life proof, 300 to what, $1,500 or more in getting set up for hunting, right? So, and are you guaranteed fish? Are you guaranteed deer or boar or whatever it is you're hunting for? No, you're not. So that's the way I look at it. I look at it as in the same terms of the money. It's the same thing. I think people spend more money on other garbage and get even less for it, or have absolutely no chance of having anything in return. It's just wasted. It's just spent. So that's the way I look at it. And so I don't see that as the issue at all. But what problems people have is really knowing, first of all, learning what to do, how to do it, and to develop skill. But the greatest skill to develop in this gambling is to walk away. You need that's the most important skill, is to be able to get up and leave. And so that's what people have to worry about. In the software that I've created to help people learn how to gamble are hints and bells and whistles and sound effects that pretty much a person sets up to tell them it's time to go, okay? You reached your goal or you didn't reach it and you're heading down towards the hole. It's time to leave. So my software is a training type of software that really just helps the person to know when to go, when to fold them, like the song says. And so I find that as a very important part of this software and what it does, what I propose that it does. Other than that, it's very good. I mean, the software is very, very good in helping people learn how to, bet here, how to do this strategy. I have strategy testers that you can test one of your strategies. And also I have strategies of my own development that, you can use. And also you see the results through the software. Unfortunately, you can't use the software in real life situations. But the software, if you're playing online in Florida, illegal, you have to make sure you know what you're doing and what you're doing. In certain states, it's illegal for you to play, to gamble online. So you have to be careful of that. Be wary of that. Understand what the laws are in your jurisdiction. But for those that it is legal, well, you can use the software, and the software actually one of them is particularly guides you through each bet as it's being played. So you play with the software and actually follow the suggestions of the software. It's up to you. The caveat is you don't have to do what it suggests. But if you do, it pretty much, as I've seen it in my test, it's very good. It really does help you spot certain things that may be happening and how to leverage from your losses and stuff like that. So it's a great aid for a person. and so that, again, that software, the main feature of it is really telling you to leave the table when you get too low, and also to leave when you've reached a high. And it's always telling you what the high is. You're at the high now, good time to go. So anyway, but when you're dealing, so how does this help you in the real casino? Well, it helps you because you get used to identifying the feel. Oh, I'm at a high right now. I really should go. So it helps you to do that. It helps you to feel also, I'm going down and it's getting low. It's time for me to say goodbye. I got some profit. Let's go. The other day, I do testing. So when people say, well, do you gamble? How do you? Because I do test. When I say I don't gamble, it means I don't need to gamble. I don't have to gamble. I don't go to gamble to gamble. I go to the casino to test, what I'm working on. That's all. So the other day I was at the Hard Rock Cafe. Oh no, not that. Not the Hard Rock Cafe. I was at the Victory Cruise, the ship casino, and I had set up my software. I did a test, some strategy. What I wanted to test the strategy on the ship, using the limits that the ship has on their casino machine. This was, I think, the roulette machine, which is half digital, but the wheel has the ball in it. It's actually a hybrid. And so I went there gung-ho to test my strategy on the real thing at the casino. But what happened? The day I go, supposedly, the machine's not working. the machine's not working. And I have a series of videos where I talk about it, made on the ship itself, where I discuss the real reason that machine wasn't working. Because it was the day after it's supposed to be repaired. There's a day that the ship, it's a Monday. There's no sailings on Monday. Why? Because that's the day they fix everything. It's the day they clean, they deep clean, and they're supposed to fix the machines, right? So then I go there on the next day, Tuesday, and how is it that that machine is broken, right? But I know what it is. What it is that on that day, they don't have too many passengers. So on that day particularly, they just didn't run that machine because that machine has a certain level of capacity in terms of the bedding cap, the limit that you can put on the machine. And that matters because if you hit, there's a lot of money that you can potentially win. And if there's not enough people on the ship to be raking, for the casino to be able to rake in monies without having to dig into their own pockets, then that becomes a business issue. I don't criticize. It's not an evil thing that the casino's doing. They're doing the right thing business-wise. I respect that. I'm a businessman. See, that's the difference between, I guess, Republicans and Democrats, because I understand Republican mentality. I understand the business mind and the needs of business. So certain things have to be done in a certain way. So I don't have a problem with that. I understand that. That's the way it has to be. But then a lot of people don't. A lot of people will say, oh, the casino is scamming me and this and that. It's not an issue of scamming. It's an issue of staying alive business-wise. So they have to do what they have to do. So I respect that. That wasn't the issue. Not for me. But in any case, I asked. I said, what's wrong? What's happening with this machine? And said, no, that machine is not working. But someone volunteered some information, you see? You see, that's where you know that something's not right, when not everyone I asked didn't tell me anything else. But then this one person did tell me something else that no one else had said. And what was that? That there was another machine. I said, oh, really? I said, where is that? And they said it was on the third floor, on the higher floor. But they said, but that machine has a lower cap. So see, that's how it makes sense. So the lower cap machine was working. And what does that mean? That it's limited to how much the casino can lose when you're using that machine. And it also optimizes their wins because, of course, even though you're betting less, they're still winning more money than losing it because you're not winning big wins, right? So it works out. So that made perfect sense. I said, aha, that's the reason. Everything's making sense now. It bothered me, though, because I came exclusively to test one of the strategies, which teaches me something to come prepared with 3 or 4 different strategies from now on. But again, I didn't have knowledge of that other machine either. So in any case, I said, well, let me try my strategy anyway on this lower cap. But the strategies, mostly in these casino games, strategies do rely heavily on leveraging and on having that space from when you begin your betting into where you get to the limit. So I said, this is going to be a stretch, but we'll see. And so I did that, and I put in a bullet. That's one of your shots. You divide your budget into different opportunities. Usually you want to double the money you put in. So if you put in 100, you want to get at least as close to 200, if not more. Once you hit that 200, 250, whatever it is, That's it for that bullet. You take the money out, that money's going home. Then you put in your next $100. Let's say you have $400, $500. You do all of the $300 that the other person had. You put in your second bullet, and you work that, and then you put in your third, and you work that, right? So that's the way you should do it. It's the smarter way. And in each case, you will go home with money as long as while you up, you pull it out, right? Because each $100 you get 180, 150. You're turning each 100 into 150. That's good. You pull it out. Each 100 you pull out. By the end of your bullets, you have instead of 500, now you got 750, 850, 1,000. Good, nice. So that's what you want to do. All right. So these are the things you have to train your mind to be thinking, and not be thinking, I'm going gambling, I'm going to try to make some money, and I got $100. No. You just have to go. Hey, you made more money. Goodbye. That's it. That done with that bullet. And now you do the next bullet. You do the same thing, right? Because you will win some, you will lose some. But as long as you pull out before you go down, that's when, will be good. You have another bullet. You don't have to keep pressing on the 100, which is one of the things you really need to understand. Anyway, in the Lottery Fortuner program, if you become a member, you'll have training, and a lot of the training is psychological, because you really need your strength in this endeavor is psychological, because everything's set up against you. Everything's set up to affect your mind. Everything in the casino. So you have to be careful. The drinking is free. Hey, why do you think it's free? Think about that. Right? The loud music, why is it loud? Because all of these things are distractions. Even the way things are laid out in the casino, they're laid out so that you're distracted. And what's going to happen is that you're not going to be thinking straight. Like right now, you are watching me, you're sitting, you may be in a quiet room. You can think about what's happening. But when you're in this environment, it's not an environment conducive for thinking. It's not a museum. It's an amusement area, right? So it's amusing. And amusement, it means not thinking. So that's why casinos are made the way they are. Lights and music and colors and excitement. All this is amusement, like an amusement park. But you have to know what most people don't. That amusement means not thinking. That's what it means. And psychologically, that's what it is. You're not thinking straight, okay? So, and who does that advantage? The casino. Because that makes you want to keep going, keep going, keep going. All the games, keep going. Yeah, you're almost there. You had 3. You needed 4, and you keep going. I'm right down. I'm down by below the 100. It's so close. It looks like it's going to hit. And you keep sinking, keep sinking, keep sinking. That's the trick to get you to lose all your money. You should have left when you were up. Because, of course, one of the main tactics of the casino experience is that you will win a few. There are times that you will win. The mistake that you do is you keep playing. That's the mistake. You win, get that money out with your 100, and you go in another bullet. You can still play, but that 100 that you put in that made now 150, 170, you got to pull it out. You can't leave it there. If you leave it there, it's going to go bye-bye. Absolutely. Okay. Because that's the way the numbers are. And again, they're not stealing from you. You have to understand this. This is about numbers. This is the reason I got into this lottery type of business, if you will, this niche. And that's because in making games, in developing games, I found it helpful and strategic to deal with numbers, to understand numbers more fully. And in that pursuit, I created these testers and number generators, etc., etc. And one thing leads to another. Now, how did I get into the lottery fortuner, though, in particular? That has to do with something I did years ago, even before I started in the gaming industry. Years ago, I was delving into a different branch of counseling. And I came up with a system, a formula, if you will, a way of looking at things that included numbers that were involved with a person's life, with the life history. In my psychotherapy intake analysis and questions that I would make to a patient, I would ask them, there are certain things in life that are set at different stages in life. And if you study science and psychology, etc., you know there's a thing called human development, and certain things happen in certain times of a person's growth. And those same things happen in certain times in a person's experiences. Like most marriages, when if they're going to fail, will fail within the first 7 years. There's a number to that. It's a period. It's a phase. Most air crashes, airplane failures occur either when they're lifting off or when they're landing. That's a thing. It's real. It has to do with numbers too, right? There's a time for it. There's a period, a phase. So from that early development in that different area, nothing related to gambling or even game development, that still stays in my mind because these are things that I developed and worked on. And so when I began to develop games, and then I saw the need for numbers and randomizing, and is there something else with it, then the lottery started to become appealing in terms of further development of my number theory, if you will. Let's call it a number theory. It's the way I look at numbers, the way I think about numbers. And that's where it started, basically. And what's happening, we developed this research project. It's going to always be a research project. There are ways for other people to enter into our ethos with the research teams. Some of you can become research team members, but there's no direct purchasing of any of most of the big software, Powerball, Mega Millions. No one's going to be able to purchase that software. But there are the state games. The state games are available for sale, not from me directly. They'll be available from the research team members, which is how they make their money getting involved in our research project. So they get compensated through the development of pools and also the sales and subscriptions to state-based lottery fortuner game versions. So that's the way that runs there. And that explains to you a little bit of why I'm into this numbers. It's really, for me, it's just giving me a more better grasp of using numbers in my game development. It's really already impacting it in a major way. So it's fascinating, and I have some new development for games I've already worked on, and other projects that are in development. Is already causing great additions and development in those projects. So it's a good thing that I got into this. So anyway, and this was absolutely not what I was going to do. I was not going to give all this explanation, but I figure it's been 3 years since anyone has seen me live, so I figure I might as well give that explanation, go a little bit more into in depth of the reasons and the backstory to the Lottery Fortuner program. So let's get into our virtual event. What is a virtual event? Well, right now with the Lottery Fortuner license, you can. Now I hear myself talking. One moment. I'm gonna have to hunt myself down. Hunt that bad boy down. That's you now. Okay, now you want attention. Okay, just calm down, boy. All right. So basically, the Lottery Fortuner virtual event is your online version of the events that we can do. Our business license holders can hold live events at malls, for businesses, corporate parties, etc., and also bus excursions. We do bus excursions to different, destinations, tourist destinations. People want to go see this or that or explore. There's people who've been in a state for many years and haven't gone to a certain destination or seen everything or even know of everything. So getting on a bus and taking a trip is a good thing. And if you can have it with Lottery Fortuner, is even better because of the opportunities that the passengers or attendees at one of our events have in winning the Powerball and Mega Millions. I don't think I'm set up here for. Let's see, is that here? No, I'm not set up for. I'm sorry, I'm not set up here for the contract and stuff. I'm not set up to show you the graphics that I have showing the wins. So I'm just going to tell it to you. There may be something later on that I'll play, maybe, that has it in it. But just pay attention. If you see, the last year we've done 5 matching numbers. Last year, the Powerball Mega Millions software. And this year we've already made significant hits. Plus that this year we're really working hard on our statewide games, and they are making hits. They are producing winners, and so the software is proving itself. It's already proven what it does. Again, this software is not just, you have to understand that it's not guessing at the winning number. That's the thing about it. I did not make this software to guess the winning number. Okay, I made the software to analyze the person's numbers. See, that's the difference about this software. This software is custom made. It's not one piece of software for everybody. No, it's every person has their own version of the software. The software is a personal, custom made software for that person. Even if somebody was looking and saying, can I use the machine to give me numbers? And they run the machine, it wouldn't give them their numbers. So it's like it wouldn't mean anything because it'll be just random numbers, and they'll hit as good as the person guessing their own numbers. Okay? But right now we can tell you that it's a bona fide fact that the Lottery Fortuner has won at this point almost 10 times for one person. For one person. Okay? Since they began using the software and really testing it. Remember, the Powerball and Mega Millions is not available for sale. So we're talking about research team members, okay? So whenever we say that the software has won, it's not for any Joe in public person. It is a research team member, Okay, research team members get instructions, a certain way of dealing with the software. There are certain times where you have to interpret things a little, not just take things for face value. Just, when was it? July the 4th. And I have the graphic here because I did it right away. In the morning, I saw that it hit the midday pick 3. So I did the graphic right away for pick 3. And I say, hey, it hit. The numbers came out, clearly, and I showed them the little area because we never show anyone the whole software graphic. We show them that area where it displays the pick 3 number. And then I showed them from the Florida lottery where it has the pick 3 result. So that was good. I said, fine, this is great. It's another hit. And so the next day, I'm looking at, I'm setting up the programs again for running, and then I noticed something. I said, wait a minute. Yesterday, the number hit twice. It wasn't just the midday, but also the evening. It wasn't the same exact number, but the same 3 numbers. As you know, those who know these games, you can pick, you can make it so that if any of the 3 numbers hits, then in all of them hit, but in any way, then you'll win money, right? So that's what it did. It gave you the 3 numbers for that day, and they hit. All that happened was the numbers changed place, but it was the same 3 numbers for the daytime and evening. That's the Florida State Lottery. Go and look at it. You can go do a search for the Florida State Lottery, look at pick 3, and July the 4th. The same number. I think it was 260 or 206, something like that, and the evening was 602, something like that. It's the same 3 numbers. In any case, I made another graphic pointing that out. That was a great hit to see that the number repeated itself even for the evening number. And it's great to see, and again, to show people that the numbers work. You see that the software works. Part of being the research team member is to supply me with this information. So the team member has to send this information to me, and then I go and look at take pictures, screenshots, and verify, and then we make the graphics to tell people, hey, this software works. Look at what it's doing. So so that's what goes on here. So again, part of that has to do with that early work. If you were listening early on in my program where I explained that I had, before I started game development and all that, at some other time as a psychotherapist, developing some structure and strategy for helping people when I prepare them or intake them or question them before giving them counseling services. I took some of the concepts that I had developed, and I incorporate some of that into the software. So the software produces personal numbers, and that's the difference. I think that makes this software more, qualitative within the scope of it, because we know, this is not going to give you every day the number that wins. Now, in a network of research team members, will members show up every day winning? That's what should happen. If the number of research team members is significant, that's what should happen, right? Yes, that's what we expect. We're still growing, we're still developing, because we haven't reached that mass yet, right? So, but that's what I fully expect. Once we reach mass, a quantity of research team members that is a good representative of lottery players, then I really do expect to see daily hits. Somebody reporting a hit today, another one tomorrow, another one the next day. I do fully expect that because, I mean, we have evidence already to show that even for one person, it's hit 10 different times, 10 different things, 10 different times. So, it's a winning software. Okay. So that's the issue with that. So our software providers or the license holders hold these events in real life. And during the events, they will perform the duties of the lottery fortuner. So one of these events is the bus trip. So right here, we're going to start off the bus trip. And I'm going to start off when you load up the software. And let me get this. That's not the video, okay. Now you'll hear a little difference between what you're hearing now. You hear some of the music in the background than the source itself, so it may be a little confusing. I'll leave the music off a little bit. You'll still hear it on my mic though. Now this is the basic setup. Our license holders learn how to do this, how to set it up for live streaming. This is like from you're sitting inside a bus. We're going to a casino. We're going to whatever destination. It could be anything. This could be done with a family-oriented trip. It doesn't have to be just casinos. It's only if there's a casino within traveling distance, we have that casino trip. If not, anyone can do this in any place that they're at. Simply, it's any type of destination. This could be a wedding. You could be at a wedding, and you could be the DJ. This software works like a DJ. A software like a DJ might work with or not. But it's the same idea. It'll play music, and this can be hooked up. We can do a custom version that plays the music you have a license to be playing as a DJ and whatever you want to do with it. So we can do that for particular clients. Otherwise, the standalone standard is it plays its own public domain music that's played on the bus, played on the video as you see it now or hear it, and there's no problem with doing it that way. It also provides below the copyright information right on the screen. So if you're on YouTube, putting this on YouTube or any other picky area platform, there's no problem. You have each song will pop up, and you'll see today every song that plays will pop up on the bottom its copyright label, as you see there. Now, when you come and you purchase a license from us, you'll get a training here in Florida. You have to come down to Florida and take our training program. And it's a couple of days on a weekend. You come down, and we will actually do a trip with you and teach you every single aspect, every single moment. Now, have you ever been on a bus that's blasting this music, any type of music? You're having fun? Because I haven't. I don't know what's wrong with these people. All right, they don't know how to have a good time. but I can't tell you the number of times I've been on a casino trip or any trip for that matter, and I have been bored out of my head. Anyway, that's not happening on our watch. Now, on our events and our bus excursions, attendees or passengers win more than any other because they aren't just attending an event. Forgive me for yelling. I'm trying to go over the music. They're winning more because they aren't just attending an event or bus trip like I was just talking about. You're not just sitting there looking out the window wondering, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Because they are subscribed members of our winners pool. The pool plays numbers for the passengers, so that they become a pool. Every in real life event is numbered and can be paired to a virtual event. So the bus pool gets a number, and it's paired with a virtual pool. The virtual pool are people watching right now who have joined, have subscribed to be a pool member. There's a different number because what happens is that those pools become reactivated every so often with another pool connection. So to make it easy, let's say that pool number 1 is a bus pool, an actual trip, and pool number 2 was a YouTube event. And so those members of the pool 2 and YouTube might get one day connected with the pool number 1 that was an actual bus event or a wedding event or whatever. What happens is that they become then one massive pool. Two groups together become one big pool, the virtual pool and the excursion pool, the event pool, whatever it was in real life. And so now, how is this beneficial? Well, it's beneficial because the more tickets, the more numbers that are at play at any given time, the more chances you have of winning. You'll be able to win. And when you're talking about millions and millions of dollars, okay, that you have to divide it with 50 people, with 100 people, hey, listen, it's money that you've won. And you're talking about at least it could be 6 figures depending on the amount. It could be 5 figures, but it's 5 figures you didn't have yesterday. You get me? So again, it is a way. And now again, what are we using? It's not just one lucky draw, because we've already showed you. Well, we told you that the lottery fortuner produces multiple wins. And with the pools reactivating every so often, that means that you have more than one chance, multiple chances, in fact, of getting your pool activated and being part of a pool that actually wins another time. And then you get connected at another time with another pool, and maybe that pool wins, one of those times. Now, you got to understand also that this is not just a one-time thing. So let me keep explaining so you'll understand. YouTube pairings are transitory, which means that each time a live event is either planned or completed, a video edition or pool number is paired to it and can repeat, affording YouTube or other platform subscribers multiple chances of pairing up to an active pool share opportunity, what I've just explained. YouTube pool subscription, this is actually any video platform. It's not just YouTube. Pools are, once you subscribe from wherever platform you are, it doesn't matter. You're part of that pool, okay? So that pool is comprised of YouTube and anybody else from any other, platform. So you become, so those pool subscriptions also can be awarded to live event subscribers as a special bonus or prize. So let's say you were at an event and you received the prize of being a virtual pool member, so that they can win that prize as well. And the same holds true for virtual pool members. One time you can be a winner of becoming part of pool number 156, and that's a real life pool that will also get activated at one time or another. So you can actually win multiple pool memberships. Right now, you're not having to pay any further. It's something you win, and you're talking about over a $960 per year value in that prize winning to be a member of a pool. So you have to understand that that's a very valuable prize that you win. So although in the beginning pools are closely attached to the initial video of opening, they are not permanently adhered to them. You are subscribing to a numbered pool, not a specific video. So conversely, live event pool members are attached both to video and pairing reoccurrences or features. So we have those are the benefits for joining. And if you join in this episode, for example, you'll receive also the Powerball and Mega Millions entry into the pool. Now today's a Sunday, so today there is no Powerball or Mega Millions. But for the next 7 days, your numbers will be placed into the Powerball and Mega Millions pool. So you'll have 7 days after today of Mega Million and Powerball entries. Okay, so that is the added value that when you attend one of our bus excursions or our events, those things happen in one day. When people take a bus ride, it ends in one day. After that day is done. But in our program, they continue to have potential winnings for the next whole week. And there's no type of bus that you can get on, no trip that you can take, no event that you can go to that will give you an extra 7 days, 7 to 8 days of winning potential. Nothing like it. This gives you that. Remember, we are, as the Lottery Fortuner, we are giving you use or the benefit that your numbers are going to be produced for you personally for the next 7 to 8 days. They're not just random numbers. They're numbers adjusted in some way to your personhood. All right? And these are things that have already produced results. And then on top of that, your number is put in with the whole pool. So then everyone has, again, because it doesn't go by day. The winning number it's not telling you what the number is going to be today. It's just giving us your numbers for today, the numbers that are significant for you today and for the next person and the next person and the next person. And within all these hundreds of pool members, one of those tickets, one of those numbers will hit that day and has a possibility of hitting that day. Let me speak more correctly, right? So there is great potential. And if not that day, maybe the next. And if not that day, maybe the next. And not that day, maybe the next. How much is it costing you? Nothing. Okay, you just are subscribed to the program as a pool member. That is it. Okay. And then again, if your pool gets tied into another pool, that again, there's no other cost to that. It is simply part of being a member. More benefit, more winning potentials, more days exposure to numbers that are personally generated for you, and you're riding along with 50 to 100 other folks that the software has also produced their potentially winning numbers. So that's a lot from a lottery program, a software that has already a proven track record. Okay, so 7 days of pool ticket purchasing improves your chances of winning all week long. It's better than playing alone. Now, you can dream all you want, but playing alone, I get the whole prize myself. And, people have been waiting all their lives for that. You can continue to do that if you like. But, if you had our software, I can tell you this. If you had this software producing your numbers, you could have already won 10 times already. YouTube virtual online pool groups remain open until reaching their limit. So special small capacity, high share groups can become available from time to time with special preference on repeat activation and expanded benefits. These subscriptions are higher priced though, and prizes shared among a few people equals large prize awards. Those are not available yet, but they will become available in the future. Most probably it will be a prize winning availability, and hopefully you should be able to afford it at that time. All right, so what happens on these trips as we go along? Let's get some more music here. And you saw how the window closed of the credits, and now we have the new song coming in. Groundwork. For those of you interested in a license, this is where you go for it. mycbs.com LP/LP/lottery-PM. It's a limited availability, and you get so much included in this. You see some of the software pictures in there. A little stretch for the screen. Again, you can stop the music anytime, as we'll do, so that I can speak to you in a normal voice. I think you guys enjoy it more. In any case, this is exclusive and limited territories. Exclusive one-of-a-kind software is custom number generation service, and that's basically the business that you're involved in doing. And there's so much to it, more than just this. So you guys got to understand, this is a whole package of things, including the other gambling software, which is not pictured. Okay, this is just the basic license here, the basic program. All the other stuff is included. It's just not described here. It's documented jackpot winning numbers. You operate and participate in game pools. The software documentation, you receive software documentation and training, bus excursion program training, YouTube profit strategy, which you're seeing some of it here. And you don't have to just do it my way. You get some hand claps here because I deserve it. Right? You don't have to do it my way. I tend to be talkative and boring. Sorry about that. I just don't know any other way to be. But in any case, you guys can have your persona. Some people are very flamboyant, others are entertaining, You have skills, you have abilities that I don't have. Okay, so it works. Whatever you bring to the table, it doesn't have to be exactly the way I'm doing it. I'm doing it as the developer, so I'm boring a lot of technical things here and there, some legalese, obviously, because everything you need to, as you're taking the training, you'll learn about legal issues that you need to be wary of. I'll help you through them, but you need really to look for yourself to make sure that because each state has different nuances in the laws, what you can do, what you can't do, etc., etc. But this should be either way. You work within the law. You work within the law. What's allowed? Work within it. There's no need not to, right? There's really no need not to. And again, just simply follow the law, okay? Some of you will be able to do other things that we can't do or I can't do, and you'll be able to do them. That's fine, beautiful. It's not something that other people can do if the laws in their state don't allow it. So basically, that's the caveat to this that you have to be very careful about. When we get back to the scene ever of the bus, which we will do, it'll start again. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure it will. So don't worry about that. It's really not. There's no point in it. It's just to show and demo the program itself. So it doesn't have to do with anything other than that. So, okay. So that's one thing that I wanted to cover there. So let's go back into the other points to this. Where is that? Oh, it's over here. Okay. So what we do is during the trip we stop. We make a few stops. What are we doing? Well, we're getting these babies here. We're getting these guys here, the scratch-offs, okay? So the scratch-offs, and I'm going to reset this video for the next few videos so that it can continue where it left off, okay? So, yeah, because there's a lot more to it than that. But anyway, we stop. Actually, before we get on the bus, we already got a stack of these going out and ready. Different types. There's an explanation that I'll make right now about this so that you guys understand why you're seeing this type and not the bigger types, the more costlier types. Okay, at what time we had it? We had it because I was doing a test. I'm still involved in this test. And what we're doing is that we're dwindling down the cards here, dwindling down to their last few, or until there's a hit that repopulates our card supply. So every time we've been scratching off the cards and seeing what gets hit and what doesn't get hit, right? And if we get we get some cash, we will buy more cards. And that's basically what we've been doing for the last few videos. Now, and this is not what you'll do. As a license holder, you won't be doing what I'm doing now, dwindling down on the cards. You will actually purchase cards for the whole pool. And that could be easily like 100 cards every video that you will do for the pool members. So again, that's something that we'll discuss during the training. What I'm doing here is simply finishing off one of my other tests. So that's what's happening here. So on the bus, though, at the event, you're not going to go scratching off 1,000 tickets at the event. So what we do is simply we scratch off the barcode. I don't remember where this one's at. It should be around here. Yeah, okay. So what you do, you scratch off the scanning bar just simply to see if it's a winner or not. And then what I do is that, okay, so talking about the bus, we just go by what the app tells us. If the app tells us it's a winner or not. Now, we don't bother scratching because we'll give that to somebody on the bus. So somebody on the bus or at the event will win that ticket. And again, according to law, the bus, everyone in attendance has to vote for that person to get that ticket. So everyone raise your hands, be nice. And so, of course, the show of hands, so and so will win a winning ticket. So what happens that instead of giving people all these different type of losing tickets, we just give them winning tickets. That's it. So everybody wins. Everybody wins at our event. Everyone wins on our buses, and that's that. So let me pull up the app here, Florida Lottery in this case, and let's do a scan here. Check my ticket. And we're going to scan the barcode, as you see. Scan the barcode already. And the camera will be too close. Sorry, so I'll take it away from the camera shot to get the barcode in here. And you're a winner. Congratulations. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah, man. So now with that sound effect, people know that there's a winning ticket here. Okay, so that ticket is for $1. So they got $1 out of it. Good. And this is again what the app says. Let's see if we can turn that around. You can read it. Are you a winner? Congratulations, $1. So basically, we don't bother showing this to the passengers or at the event. We just simply play the sound effect through our DJ panel here, if you will. And that's that. So let's go on. The bus is moving along. Let's get some music on here on the playlist. And let's get going. No winner there, no winner. No winner. Now, I don't know where these bars are at. Like I said, I don't gamble. Oh, there it is. Okay. Summer Cash. You know what that is. Let's see what this one is now. Winner there. Still alive. The experiment is still alive. Wouldn't it be something that after we get to the last dollar and that becomes a big winner? It's totally improbable, but it's possible. That would be funny, right? That's what I want to see. Just simply, how far can we go? I expect just losses. Just losses. That's the expectation.
You lose.
That was it. Not a winner. Sorry. Did you expect something else? And now for the final card. And I need to add some drum rolls. Make a note to myself. The drum roll for the final card. And again, this is very short, but it's the experiment that we're working on now. Well, that's the end of it, folks. And so, from this experiment, from the last, how many cards were there in total? Let's see. In total, we have, let's get back to the other shot. In total, we have 6, 7, 8. We had 8. It was $8. We started with $100 of tickets, I believe. I have to look back at the first video. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's incorrect. Well, I have to look back at the first video we did in this series. We started off really with, we were doing a pick 3 testing. And we took, I think that was started with like $75, in fact. And then, again, obviously, the losses started. And then instead of continuing with pick 3, because we really didn't know how the pick 3 worked, but then we soon found out that it really doesn't matter. Because you need to be able to get a pick 3, even though we get the winning numbers. If the payout depends on the assigned amount that they're assigning it. So it's really almost nonsensical for us to continue testing when the one thing that you need when you're doing pick 3, by the way, is you need to find stores or be at the right time where the tickets show a higher amount of winning. because then it makes it worthwhile. But anyway, we're leaving that to the side. So we discontinued that, having already found out what we needed to know about that game. And we took the balance of the money and we put it into these tickets just to see how that progress was going. And because we had the tickets in the Lottery Fortuner excursion and event program, so that's why we did that. Might as well kill two birds with one stone. So anyway, dwindled down. Each time was like what you saw, except we had more cards in the earlier videos, and each time a little less, some wins and a little less, just like the slot machine in the casino. The slot machine is just like what you saw here. Same thing. Oh, because it's turning around doesn't mean squat. It's already like this. So you have to look at the slot machine and the casino. Let me not mix the winners here. I bring the whole thing anyway. They rescan and make sure. The slot machine in the casino is just like this. It goes 1, 2, it spins, right? But realize what it's doing, right? This is what it's doing real quick. Don't matter. These are losers. All of these are losing results. Don't matter. Losing. In millions of cards and spins, they're losing, and there's only 1 or 2 winning cards in there that when you sit down may never even appear across the screen. Okay, and you have other little winnings here and there, little things like that. You know, you got $1, you got the money back. So you put in 100, and oh yeah, you got 100 back. You caught it back up to 100. But this is what's happening. You have to realize that don't get fooled by the spinning wheels. It mean nothing. Those spinning wheels do not mean, oh, it can fall in my... No, it's not doing nothing except getting to this picture here. It'll get to this picture next. It gets to this picture, and no matter what, it can show bombs, exploding, numbers, colors, all that. It's just like this. And one of the questions I'm going to do, make some questions next time I go to the casino and also to the ship casino. I'm going to have a little questionnaire I'm going to ask people. And I ask them, do you play slots? Are you going to play slots on the ship today or as they leave? Did you play slots at all? And then ask them, and do you play scratch-off cards? I'm going to ask the question. I want to see what percentage of people don't play scratch-off cards because they say, no, I don't like it because it's all rigged. You're never going to win anything. It'll be interesting because it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay. So, again, if you're into software, you understand that. You understand that this was spinning. You have to understand that also, do you? I used to be a printer. Okay, so I used to print things. Not that I printed lottery tickets, but I do know how they print these. And the machine spins. To print this card, it has to spin. So there is spinning going on. And as it spins, it is selecting, it is printing a select, like I said, loser, $1, loser. Most of them are losers. Okay, so it's doing that already. The spinning has already occurred here. That's the only difference. The spinning has already happened. Okay? There's no difference in playing slot machine and playing this. None. Because it's the same thing. So, if you would put the money that you do on a slot machine and buy these, and again, you'll hit something just like you do on a slot machine. Are you going to go home with money that day? I don't know. Are you going to make a profit at it? Not by what people say when they leave these casinos, because I hear some story. Oh, you left all your money here. I hear it. I hear people talking. I don't see happy faces leaving these casinos. Again, because a lot of people don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to do casino. Okay, so that's the difference also in the program that I do, is I teach people how you're supposed to do that. You should be. I left with a smile when I went. I'm leaving happy because I did what I was supposed to do. I didn't say what I did last time, right? But the machine wasn't broken. What did I do? I played one bullet. It so happened that I was feeling a little sick, not because of the ship or anything. It's just, I guess, something I ate the day before or something. You get to that age where anything throws you off. And so I was feeling a little sick. I had to run to the bathroom often. I only did, and since the machine was not the machine that I was gearing up for, I made my wins at that lower bet cap. I in my series, in the video, I explained how I did that. I had to pull some strings. I had to use some nifty strategy to make it pay. And I made it pay, baby. But I didn't feel like continuing to play because it wasn't what I was planning for. When I put something in my head to do, I do it. And I couldn't test the strategy when the strategy required a higher cap. So when the cap wasn't the regular cap, I said I can't continue because I'm not here doing what I came to do. So I played one bullet, I won, I left. I couldn't do anything else, so I left. I left with more money than I came there with. I'm a winner. When I left, I was smiling. But I heard other people talking, and I heard one couple say, you lost all your birthday money. And you hear other people saying, oh, but you're supposed to have fun. Which is the joke I always say. I say, oh, this is about having fun. I say, right. Who has fun losing? I don't have fun losing. So that's a lot of BS. You have to know what you're doing. And like I did, if I don't have the machine that I am used to or that I was practicing for, and I came to do, again, when you go to the casino, you need to go there with a specific thing in mind to do, or a series of things to do, which is okay. You can play different games, but you need to know what you're doing. So if you don't have that, or the conditions that you have practiced for and under or used to, then you really don't need to play. Playing would be foolish. And that's one thing my mommy did not make, was a foolish kid. So I picked myself up after that. I went to the bathroom, and I'm not going back to the table or to any table, because again, they didn't have anything that I wanted to do. Again, I didn't go there to play Baccarat. This is another thing that I'm going to test. Also, we do have Baccarat testing on our software. So that's something else that I want to do, but I wasn't there that day to do that, so I'm not doing it. So simply, you see how I'm thinking. So I'm very limited in what I was going to do, and because the machine in which I was going to do it was not in operation, that really, I gave just one bullet to a similar machine just to see what I could do with it. I put one bullet in. Again, you're at the water, you got a fishing pole, throw something in, see what bites. It's not where you're at or where you want it to be, where you know there's going to be big fish. Well, let's see what happens. And I caught a fish, but again, I'm not going to sit here battling against my disgust that they don't have my machine up and running. And with this bathroom issue, stomach problem, I said, you know what, I'm going to sit the rest out, and I'm not going to do it because I'm not feeling it. And simply, you need to develop that ability. You're not feeling it. These are not the conditions. There's something wrong here. You also need to know that when things are not going right, go away. Stop. You know, you need to be sensitive to that feeling. This is not going the right way, so let's back off. Go get a drink of coffee or something, because you shouldn't be drinking. See, that's what happens. The casino promotes you to drink, because by you drinking, you keep going. Yeah, I can win. I can win. Let's overlook that. We'll keep going because you feel giddy. You feel, happy. The drinking makes you not think. And so, so it numbs you. So you don't have that feeling. You can't feel that feeling. Wait a minute. This is going wrong. This is not going right. So you shouldn't really do the drinking in the casino. I mean, and not if money is a matter to you. Of course, if you're a multi-billionaire, you're going there, I got $1 million, and I'm, just, instead of wiping my butt with it, I'm going to just play some games. Okay, then it makes sense. Drink it up, buddy. It doesn't matter, right? But if you're not that, then that's not the thing to do. It's ridiculous. Okay. All right, so that was it. The experiment still continues on. So there'll still be another video with 2 cards. Ooh, big deal. We'll have 2 cards. And like I said, you never know that one of those cards could be $1 million. No, at least not with this. The summer cash is just $5,000. Hey, listen. I'll be happy with $100, and we can start all over with the test again, right? But that will be it for the testing. So as the pool members gather in, sign up for the pool, then we will have, I'll still get a few every time just for the demo purposes. But then when we get the full pool amounts, then we're talking about a serious full scratch off segment to this show. So let us see if there's anything else that needs to be discussed right now before we sign off. Let me look and see what else we need to discuss. So those wondering where to sign up for the pool, go to YouTube, do a search for Lottery Fortuner. It's the only place that look for our available videos. It's the only place in the description there's a link. And that link anyway will give you more information. That link is for the signing up for the business license. So if anyone is interested in the business license, go there. There's more information there, by the way. I didn't discuss it here. It's a lot more information. There's a big deal. I haven't even begun to describe this business at all. It's just scratching the surface. We're just dealing here with the little scratch off and the bus and the events, and there's really a whole lot more to it than that. But for time constraints, let's see. We do the stopping for there's different segments. We do a lot more cards, etc., etc. And then on our final leg, we do final announcements, basically what I'm doing now. We also give a training. If you're going to the casino, if the trip is going to a casino, we actually give strategy training on the bus. So what I do is I practice and show a strategy to the passengers. This is one thing that you can do if you're new to roulette. This is a good entry game to be playing, or baccarat and whatnot. So we'll discuss strategy. We'll discuss responsible gambling. They're very important. So that is one of the things that are discussed on the event or at the on the bus. So we do that as well. We also explain about what happens in the distribution process for the winnings. It usually goes by the law, the way the law stipulates. And at least here in Florida, there are 2 options. Either we, as a limited liability corp, we receive, or trust, there's different ways of doing it, We can do be the receiver of the award, the prize, and then we ourselves distribute to our passengers or to the event attendees. Or we have everyone's name and address and all that, and then the state, we submit it to the state. There is a official pool form that's filled out with lines and numbers for those who are part of a pool, and then the state itself will send each one their portion of the winnings. So those are the options here, at least in Florida, for that. There's also things that are not awarded because they're less. For example, here, if the prize, let's say if we hit the $5,000 prize, that this card would not go to an individual. The proceeds from this ticket will be distributed to all of the passengers, all of the pool members. So it's the different thing that happens. The break off happens at $2,500. $2,500 then and above goes to everyone gets a piece of that. But if it stays below 2,500, let's say it's just 2,000, somebody's going home with it. Now the good thing is we're not telling people how much is here. So let's just imagine this was a $2,000 ticket, and this would be the sound basically with $2,000 ticket would probably be something like this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep.
Okay. Now you hear that. That means, well, that's a lot of change. So that's the idea. So that tells everybody that somebody's going to get a big ticket. Somebody's getting a good cash amount. Okay? Again, the winning tickets go into an envelope. There only shows this the barcode. And at the end of the trip, we go through the voting process. Okay, here's the next ticket, everyone, and then there is a selection, and we see, does everyone agree for passenger number 23? Takes this, and no one knows the wiser, but somebody is taking home a $2,000 ticket, right? So that's what's supposed to happen, and they can scratch it off. They're the ones that go, oh, I got it. That's what's called the excitement that happens when they scratch off the ticket and they discover that they got the $2,000 ticket or whatever it is, right? So that's great. That's great. This is what we love. I love to have that happen. And we're also doing video when the people win, and we interview them after the trips. There's a lot of content that's created with this event and with the bus trips. A lot of good video content for video creation and promotes your business. So this is a really good thing that we have here for you. And of course, there's no better business promoter than actually hitting the jackpot. When the jackpot is in, now remember what's happening. We're going on a bus excursion. So this happens more for the bus excursion than for the events. However, if you have the gig for the event, or you're the consultant for the event, you take a day before, you go and take a trip, a 1 hour, 2 hour trip around different parts of your state, and you make a few stops here and there at the different gas stations and supermarkets or wherever they sell tickets, and you purchase. And that's what you need to do, so that you get the same effect as when we're on the bus, and we're doing the same thing. As we're going to the destination, we're stopping at different places because there's winning tickets out there. like I said, like fishing, like hunting. The thing is, you got to go hunting at every different little place, and you're gonna hit. Eventually, you will hit. If you just go to one store, it's iffy, right? You have to wait till it comes up. But if you're bouncing around to different places, you have more better chance of hitting something than not. So, and then at our level, 50, 100 at a time, it really multiplies the chances of winning something. So, that explains that. That's the excitement. That's the draw that people have in participating in our events and also going on our trips, because that's a big draw. This is perfect also for some of you who want to start a bus company. This license is also available to bus companies, only one per city. There are like 5 different licenses, only one per city. So you really have to act fast. If you're a DJ, only one DJ in a city can have this license. And again, it's not just this issue of scratch off. Anyone can do that. But it's the issue of having the lottery fortune, a winning, proven winner software. And if you go to the link, the lottery-PM link, which I'll show before I end this program, you'll learn about the other software there, which is in the gambling niche and very highly sought after. We even have horse and sports betting there, software. Listen, the sports betting that I put into that software, it's with the horse and car racing software. I added it, I added it based on a formula that I had put together, and I wanted to test it. I just said, let me try this on sports betting, and I won, brother. It picked the right winner. It is absolutely crazy. I'm pretty good at it, I'll tell you right now. The logarithms, the things I put into this software, they're effective. So, once people start, when you start making content, I'm not telling you to get this to use the software. I'm telling you to participate in our program as a research team member and to get a license as a business owner and just sell this software. But this software, when people start seeing how effective, and you yourselves try, because you own the software, you can try it and use it yourself. It's like, this is going to blow your mind. It's really, really going to make a big difference. Again, I'm not into gambling like that to say, oh, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for all my life, so I can gamble like a crazy nut. I'm not into gambling. So even though I have this software and it works, I'm not a gambling type. I just don't. That's not my pastime. Now, making software, that's me. I like making software. I like making these gadgets. And seeing that what I do works. That's what I enjoy. That's my passion. Not sitting down for hours on end at the gambling table, Oh. Okay, but I do it just to test. I do test strategies. I test this and that while I'm testing things to incorporate into the software. I do that, but I'm not attracted to this. Noise is a bother to me. And the lights don't do nothing for me. Just ridiculous. I took a picture. I was in a Hard Rock Cafe. I see all these machines and lights. I said, where's the coffee machine? Because that's the way I look at it. I'm looking for something I can use, like a coffee machine. All right. I had gone without breakfast that morning. I was looking for a coffee machine. I could care less about these machines. But anyway, that's the way I deal with it. And so that's what makes me more able to help people who have a problem, because I definitely don't. And the way I look at things and numbers and life and look at these games will help people control themselves when they're at these at these table games. Really, just it's you see it in other channels on YouTube and whatnot. People giving advice. It's good advice from experience. Basically, how much you're controlling your budget and your attitude, the way you approach the casino and approach the table game is really what it's all about. And as long as you can develop at least a camaraderie with what I'm saying, that you get that similar, spirit of, I was being all this silliness, and let's do this more intellectually, I have more control. And the best thing, really, I'm not trying to push the business onto someone that's addicted, but it will help you to change your focus from being a gambler trying to get all the and make your money with a business that's at least it's near the industry, it's in the environment, but you don't have to. That's not where your money comes from. You understand? You had to change the where your focus and hope for producing income comes from, so that at least you have a business that you can do. And you know what? You do some testing here and there to create content. You become a content creator more than just a stupid gambler. Not that gamblers are stupid per se, but you know what I'm trying to say, that you're just a victim of the casino. You don't want to do it. Not that they're victimizing people either, but you know what I'm saying, that you can't control your actions at the table. So all of these things, even just becoming a passenger, one of our customers, will help somebody who's losing all their money and at the gambling table to control their budget. Just simply as that. Okay, so we're having connection issues. There's a thunderstorm in the area and whatnot, but I think we're done for today. Let's have a little outro music from our playlist, see what's going on, what they'll play for us next. Vivacity by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com. I love this guy. I always promote his stuff. His music is just free music at a time we couldn't get any royalty-free music. So I stayed with him. Great success to you, sir. I'm a composer too, but I never did anything like this, and it's a good thing that you're doing. Really great help, everybody. All right, guys, listen. We can't wait to see you on the inside. Join us into our world. Lottery fortune's a big thing. It's a lot of things, a lot of ways of making money. You don't have to gamble. Even our research team members don't have to play the numbers. They just have to run the software. You see? You don't have to gamble. Just use the software. That's it. And if you can make money using the software without gambling, that's the best thing, isn't it? Why risk anything? Right? So that's that. Listen, I can't tell you anything more. You either intelligent, do things intelligently, or you're in trouble, man. Okay, so that's it. If you want to make big money, then invest in the business. Invest in the license. I said I would show you at the end. So invest in this business. And again, you go to the link that you see there, and you will see more things that's tied into this license if you act right away. There's a limited opportunity right now, and if you act right away, you'll be able to get in. Okay, so a certain amount of people will be able to get that extra benefit with their license. If you're a hotel owner, you don't need a casino, but you can get this. You don't have to worry about casino regulations and this and that. Just get this. This is the easy way to make people want to come to your hotel and be there or be square, right? And have all these great opportunities and have fun and have chances of winning. And like I said, everybody wins in our events and in our excursions. Everybody's a winner. There ain't going to be anyone leaving saying, oh, you left all your money here. No. Everyone's winning. That's what we make sure of, and that's an absolute. So come and join the Lottery Fortuner. And until next time, guys, keep out a lookout for us. We'll be broadcasting more and more as we continue rolling out this project. Check out my other videos and some of these channels I'll be on. I'll show you Spaceparium, another game that I'm working on. The Symbolum, another game we've been working on for a while. That'll things that we're working on, projects that you'll be interested in seeing if you're into games at all, and other things. And on Sunday, the Word of God, because I'm also a minister too. Isn't that crazy? So many hats I wear, so many things I do, but that's what keeps me entertained while I'm here in an otherwise boring world. I keep myself entertained. And hopefully you'll keep yourself entertained on the other channels which are on this platform. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye now.